If we can go back to Channel 5, can you tell the origin story of that?
Yeah, I mean, Channel 5, during the all gas, no brakes days, we used to tell people that we were called Channel 5 if we wanted them to stop antagonizing us while we were filming. Because every town has a Channel 5. So when people were like, what's this for? If they were being super rude and like trying to get in the camera and be hella obnoxious, we would just say, oh, we're Channel 5. And they would be like, oh, my grandma's going to see that. And they would leave us alone. So Channel 5 was a diversion tactic during all gas, no brakes. And it just so happened that we were in Miami Beach one time and this kid came up like drinking liquor, like, you know, trying to yell about like whatever they yell about in Miami Beach, like titties or whatever. And we're like, bro, this is Channel 5. Be careful what you say. And he was like, for real? And he just walked off. And I said to my friend at the time, I was like, that sounded pretty good, right? Yeah. Channel 5. And he goes, that does sound pretty good. He's like, that's got to be trademarked, though. No. It's not trademarked.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? There's a Channel 5 in every city. Channel 5 KTLA, Channel 5 Seattle, Como News. Dude, Channel 5 itself, we own it. Because no one's thought of something that simple. Because you'd think you'd have to specify. We own channel5.com, channel5.news. Dude, we own it. It's awesome.
So it was the same kind of spirit as the previous thing. But,
yeah.
What was the first one you did under the Channel 5 flag?
Miami Beach spring break.
I think I've seen that, and it's gonna be a callback. I think somebody mentioning eating ass there too.
That would be the place.
I believe that.
There's only about 5 places in the U.S. where people yell about eating ass all the time. Mm-hmm. Bourbon Street, South Beach, Miami, 6th Street in Austin, Broadway in Nashville, and I'm just going to go ahead and say Times Square. You might not think it, but...
Times Square, really?
Yeah, they yell about ass there.
Times Square.
I would say Beale Street in Memphis, but it's not good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Beale Street is like the median age is too high on Beale Street for anyone to yell about ass.
Oh, this is a fascinating portrait of America through that specific lens. So, Miami Beach. Yeah. And then, how would you describe your style of interviewing? Just now that you've collected so many. If you had a style, how would you describe your style?
I guess before, especially, it used to be like deadpan. Now I would describe it as more directed, but still relatively affable, agreeable, deadpan interview style.
Yeah, there's like in the face of absurdity.
Yeah,
you're just like there with a microphone. There's a comic aspect to it,
mm-hmm.
and that's intentional.
Yeah, I used to look at the camera like Jim from The Office back in the day.
Yeah,
I don't do that anymore.
What about the editing? Like, how do you think about the editing?
I still do most of it, but Susan helps a lot too. It's my associate. Yeah, the editing style, like I said, we pioneered this editing style that honestly was inspired a bit by like Vic Berger, but we took it to real life. Crash zooms, kind of chopping up vocals a bit to add comedic timing where it didn't necessarily exist. Like you might add 2 seconds of awkward silence that are built with room tone, or you might make everything really fast by cutting silence and switching frames. I mean, switching camera angles. But now we try to be pretty straightforward because we want to be taken more seriously. You know?
Yeah, sure. What's crash zoom, by the way?
A crash zoom is when it's artificial zoom that you might add in Adobe Premiere where the camera zooms in on someone's face.
Where the resolution is not there.
The resolution is not there unless you have a Blackmagic Cinema camera,
which you don't.
We don't use those. The file size is too big.
That's the only constraint. Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. And you also do voiceover storytelling.
I think the first time I really did that was in the San Francisco Streets video because there's so much content about San Francisco homelessness, tenderloin, shoplifting, but there's not that much context in those videos about the history of San Francisco, the housing crisis, NIMBYism, random zoning stuff that sounds boring but has a major role in the current situation on the streets there, as to why the Tenderloin is neglected by police and by the city council, and the other neighborhoods like Nob Hill and North Beach are so nice. So I added that purposely to the San Francisco video and then also to the Philadelphia Streets video to accentuate the reporting and add some historical analysis.
What's your goal with some of these videos, like the Philadelphia Streets one? Is it to reveal the full spectrum of humanity, or is it also to tell a story that's almost political about the state?
Number one is always humanization. That's the primary goal. It's to take people in circumstances where they're often news items and remind the public that these are people with lives and concerns and dreams just like you. But secondly, we also want to start introducing more solution-oriented journalism. So not just, oh my God, I'm becoming aware of how horrible this is, but what can you actually do to help? And as you could see with the Vegas tunnels video, people are responding pretty positively to it. Like, here's how you can maybe help a homeless neighbor, help get them an ID, help them qualify for housing or get a job at the scrapyard. There's always ways to help. But so much of the YouTube world is oversaturated by just like endless videos of people suffering. And the comments are always like, wow, so horrible. But what does that really do for somebody?